It's 6 a.m. Sunday morning at Sonoma Raceway. The opening round of the 25th running of the US Touring Car Championship goes green flag in 2 hours, after the second round of qualifying. At least I think. To be honest, the last 24 hours have been a blur of hiking the track and filming, followed by internet research, and then what passes as sleep in the land of the sunburned. I'd greeted my alarm like a hibernating bear and was only really present thanks to vast amounts of caffeine, which would soon need topping up.
If there's coffee, I'm in that.
At least the internet research had answered many of yesterday's questions.
Good morning.
I'd even downloaded the technical regulations, but my tired mind couldn't make any sense of them. And besides, I needed to find my drivers and learn their plans for...
If you're looking for some crazy, I'll tell you everybody's standing in a line for the water slide. You can come on over, we can take the roller coaster. And you know everybody's looking for a ride in the water slide. Water slide.
Seemingly overnight, the second qualifying session had morphed into a short warm-up instead, and the race had been delayed 30 minutes, consigning my shooting plan to the bin yet again. On any other day, discovering I could have slept in another hour would be the cause of some disquiet, but instead I was happy to pump the brakes for 60 minutes, because for me this all felt like one really long day, and I was sure my body would expect payment for services rendered at some point. So I went off in search of some friendly faces.
Oh damn, has it got hydraulic jacks built in?
Air jacks.
That's crazy. Tell me about the race today. What's going on? This is an endurance race, right?
So it's an endurance race. It's the first endurance race I ran in my career. So this will be very interesting. It's a different style of racing. So instead of racing to beat your competitor, you're racing to beat the clock. A lot of the other competitors have fuel gauges, which is something I don't have. So I've had to actually do good old-fashioned math and figure out how many laps I can run on my tank and do all those kinds of calculations. So we'll see if my math's good today. If it is, then hopefully we'll be on the podium. If it's not, then hopefully we won't be getting towed back to the pits to get gas.
Race day, how you feeling?
Excited, nervous.
Yeah.
I look forward to getting out on track. Qualifying yesterday went pretty well. We do have a configuration that we don't drive very often. It's the chicane or bus stop as they call it in turn 9. So in turn 9 becomes 9A. And it slows you down for turn 10 and the following segments. So that should be interesting. We're getting ready to go out at 8:30 and then it's 2.5 hours until 11. So far, this car has felt really good. I just hope the driver holds up. And I look forward to having fun out there.
You use the scrutineer?
Yes,
Excellent. How long have you been doing it?
longer than I care to remember.
So what are you looking for?
So in this particular case, the drivers are limited to a number of tires they can use in the season. So in order to enforce that, I have to record what tires they are using. We've got serial numbers on the cars, on the tires, so I have to record that down and keep a log of it.
Is there anything else that you look for? And
You get into
Yeah, we the primary thing other than that is we check for weight because our classes are based on power to weight ratio.
Right.
And for the power, we use on-track data logging to assess the power that they're using on track. And then when they come off track, they go across the scales and we get their weight as raced and compare the two against the ratio that they're allowed to for their class.
Tom didn't have time to answer all of my questions as he had a busy schedule overseeing everything. But he did agree to helping me out later in the day when he had a gap in his oversight duties. Meanwhile, the paddock seems to have raised a collective sigh about the impending free practice session, with only one or two cars prepping to go out.
So
Yeah, so she's going out for warm-up this morning. We did not get any track time yesterday. She was on her way out and the alternator started smoking and it overcharged the battery. So
Overcharged?
yeah, well, yeah, that when an alternator goes, it can do a kind of like very typical. So one of the guys ran out and got a new part and they put it in last night, new battery, had to adjust the battery mount because it was a different battery. But so she's going out now just to make sure that the car feels good,
Right.
and that our timer works.
Right.
So our transmitter.
And so you're going to step in, what, out 1.25 hours?
Right, so this is real quick. She's going to do maybe 2 laps, just
Right.
get out there and get a feel for it. Also, different configuration this weekend for us, and she hasn't driven this configuration, so she does want to know where the track is going.
Right, yeah.
So instead of 9, we're doing a bus stop, and so it's like a high speed into a right turn and an immediate left turn to get back on. So it's a little bit different, so she'll test that out, and then for the race, she'll start. Nikki will start, and then sometime after halfway point, when she comes in for mandatory gas, is when we'll do the driver switch when we're refueling. So
Best of luck.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, it should be good. It'll be great.
It's slim pickings up here at the point. Only a couple of touring cars and 2 Speed SF racers came out, but I must say I'm rather taken with the orange 350. I had an 18-year love affair with my own Z car until being forced to sell it in the pandemic. Damn, I miss that car. Mind you, the session was not entirely without incident. It was at the much discussed bus stop chicane from the drivers' meeting, and I suspect that won't be the only time that road was used. I really do miss that car. By the time I got back to the paddock, it had transformed into race preparation mode, with half the cars having already left.
You're in there for 15 minutes.
Yes, I know. I'm waiting for Ben. I need him to put up my net and everything.
Can I do it for you?
Sure.
I got to the grid ahead of most of the cars to find that word of my exploits had spread throughout the paddock.
Let's not talk about Matt. He's a nice guy. I don't appreciate what you said about him earlier.
It was going to be a long season. Despite motorsports being a discipline more about speed than anything else, assembling a race grid is anything but fast.
Hi.
Tell you about the oil spill out there?
No.
Practice, okay, it starts around turn 7 and it goes down into turn 10, okay?
All the way down to turn 10?
Yeah, they're cleaning it up right now as best as possible, but just so you are aware.
The consequences of an early accident causing a massive pileup are very real, meaning everything is being done by the book. As the safety car finally gets things underway, it's probably a good time to give you an overview of the rules. But to save you doing the math involved with power to weight ratios, I'm going to explain the classes in terms of engine outputs, starting with the sportsman class, which is what Marion competes in, with the Hondas and the Tangerine Miata. It's for cars with roughly 200 horsepower. Next up is Tim's class, touring cars with around 300 horsepower, featuring a smattering of BMWs and the Genesis twins. That's followed by Super Touring with 350 horsepower, but there was only one competitor in that class who I'd not even met. These first 3 classes are for production-based car chassis, with manual gearboxes and hand-cooked spec slicks compulsory. The fourth class, Grand Touring, is far more open to exotic chassis types, gearboxes and rubber, plus outputs of around 400 horsepower and above, which ensure a handful of real madcap vehicles at every race, such as the Smurfette, whose low grid position comes as quite a surprise. There is of course a lot more to it than that, but with the green flag about to drop, it'll have to do for now. Thankfully the opening lap is without incident. But on lap 2, coming out of turn 7 onto the S's, a race driver's worst fear becomes reality.
Oh, fire. Get fire out there now. Get the fire out there. He's on fire.
By the time I'd made it up to the point, the safety car was already back out and I had to ask the handful of spectators what was going on, with one being specifically concerned about which car had gone off.
That's 9. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
It took several laps behind the safety car to clear up what looked like an oil spill before things got underway again. But within a few laps, patterns began to emerge. The leading pack was all E46 M3s. But the Smurfette was catching up fast. Further down the grid, Marion and Tim had ended up in a ding-dong battle for several laps, which suggested that Tim's gremlins had come back to haunt him, as he had at least an 80 horsepower advantage. The Orange Bomber was also busy humbling far faster machinery and was lapping as consistently as a metronome. With the pit window opening in less than half an hour and at least a 20-minute walk to get there, I decided to head down, but on the way I bumped into the poor chap whose race had ended prematurely.
Developed a hole in the block. I don't think that's supposed to be there. You can see it right there. Connecting rod wanted to get out of the block. Found a way.
Oh, jeez. So what happened? You just spun out?
So yeah, I was exiting turn 7, shifting from 3rd to 4th, and then out of nowhere, when I shifted to 4th, I was already accelerating, going into the next corners of the S's, and that's when it let go. Wow. And as soon as it let go, flames popped out of the hood.
Oh man.
And I was kind of already turning to that next corner, and the oil went on and just...
Your own oil slip?
Yeah, immediately on the brake and clutch, and slid onto the grass, thankfully, actually, out of the way of everyone.
Yeah. Sorry for your race, but I'm glad you're all right.
Yeah, this one has me a little angry because it's like so soon in the beginning as you're getting into it.
Right.
An engine especially, that's like the worst part to like damage.
How long is that going to take to fix, do you think? You be ready for the next race?
I'm not sure. We'll find out. Well, it's in 2 weeks. If I miss it, I miss it. I'll be there for the one after that then.
Cool.
You know,
that's
so
racing, man.
Yeah. It just sucks.
It does,
because that's money too.
How much is that roughly, do you reckon, just a fix?
Around a new, well, depending, if it's a whole new engine, it's probably like 8. If it's just the block, it's probably like less than that, you know, probably half of that.
And then, what, probably about 100 hours of work?
Probably. Maybe more. Yeah, man.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, thank you, man.
As I reached the pits, the first cars were coming in for their compulsory 5-minute refueling stops. Out on track, Marion's tussle with Tim had gotten a whole lot more complicated as they were now being lapped by the Tangerine Terror. But while Tim stepped aside to let them through, Marion saw the open door and rather cheekily said thank you very much, all whilst they were being lapped by the leading pack. Oh, and look who's in the mix. It's the Smurfette, which made me make a very smug face indeed. Its sheer V8 grunt had propelled it through from mid-pack, and now it was fighting for top honours, leaving Marion and Tim to continue their grudge match, with Tim seemingly stuck in third gear and relying on his 5 cylinders turbocharged grunt to stay in touch. It was a momentum game for him, hoping his gearbox would last the distance. Back in the pits, things were starting to get busy. The front runners had come in soon after the window had opened, and now there was a mad scramble for the exit. Marion chose a lull in the action to head into the pits herself. And was refueled and sent on her way pretty much spot on 5 minutes. Tim came in soon after for his much more mathematically based stop. With the pit windows now out of the way, it would simply be a sprint to the finish for everyone concerned, and so I was headed up to the point to capture the last of the action. But that's when I saw something that left me utterly crushed.
What happened? Diff. No, yeah, no, it came in. It was just, before I even started fueling, I'm looking at all the oil in the back bumper. I'm like, oh no, no good.
You okay?
Oh, I'm fine. I just blew up on that coming off down the back chute back there. I guess the tranny blew or the rear end blew. I don't know. He did really good. He put it in first place. He did on the first half, an hour and a half or an hour. I was mine to win, but it looked like I mine to lose.
Leaving the BAF racing team to lick their wounds, I walked up to the point one last time. All weekend I'd been hoping to encapsulate this whole experience into a simple phrase or sentence that expresses why so many seemingly sane adults choose to expend so much of their time and energy racing for the meagre rewards on offer at this level. But during post-production I realised there was no way that I could do it. It's something only a driver can tell you. And as the checkered flag fell, Marion put it perfectly.
There you go.
Finished!
Yeah, well done. 2.5 hours later, you're here.
It was good. It was good. I could have done with finishing third instead of fourth, but hey, there we go. One other time.
Congratulations.
I'm happy. I'm happy. It was so much fun.
I'll catch you on the other side of weigh-in.
Sounds good.
Well, we ran the plan and executed the plan, and now we'll see where we stand. Yeah, we're just weighing in now.
The USTCC podium is very much a family affair and takes place after the joint race podium with Speed SF. We will be seeing them again later in the season, but in terms of the championship, Daniel Rose in his M3 won out the GT class after Sam Stoll's retirement in the blue Corvette. and Rob Harper took the Super Touring class, more by default than anything, but the first rule of making the grid is turning up. The touring car class was dominated by the father and son feud of Ali and Reza Arsham, driving the Genesis twins, which looked the form cars of the class, and with sportsmen going to the subtle Miata of Andy Chittum and that podium filling out with Hondas, the battle lines were being drawn. And the next challenge was 2 weeks, but a world away, a sprint down by the sea at the home of the infamous corkscrew complex, Laguna Seca. And now began the race to prepare for the next chance at
Hello again. So, I just got home. It is the end of day 2 of the first race weekend. I'll be honest, I'm totally whipped, so this is going to be very, very short, and I'm going to be referring to my notebook a lot. So, what to tell you? Well, first of all, my drivers both survived. Sadly, neither of them placed. Both of them came in 4th place in their class, but they survived better than Enrique, the driver who grenaded his engine on lap 2. He's from Florida, so he flew all the way out here just to blow up his car and then fly home again with a $8,000 bill. Can you imagine? And then there's poor Sam Stowell, whose differential blew up while he was literally fighting for the lead, so that was a potential race win, and God knows how much money there. So next up is Laguna Seca, totally different type of track. It's out by Pebble Beach, so it could be foggy, changeable conditions, who knows. And apparently I'm camping at the track. It's going to be an interesting experience. I don't know where you put tent pegs in a concrete paddock, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, I'm done. I think I'm going to go in and offload my cameras now and get some sleep. Maybe till the next race, who knows. So, see you later, alligator.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.